चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवैत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you in today's session. Sorry to I got delayed in this session coming from another place, so sorry to keep you waiting. So we continue our discussions from Bhagavad Gita as it is. So today in fact we are starting the discussion on the main subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. So before we go there, I just wish to, this is readable?
Yes.
Or should I make even more in larger?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Please share the screen.
Share the screen. Yes. So this is Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is only. So you have got your own copies of Bhagavad Gita? You have brought? Very nice. Okay. So we will quickly go through Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita's preface and then also introduction. And then we will begin the chapter also, chapter first. But before we go there, I just want to also share with you okay, just a minute. So you have received this document handbook?
Yes.
For Bhagavad Gita also?
It is common.
Okay, it's the common one, right? All right. So fine. Prabhuji is there inside? Braj Prakash Prabhu? No.
On the way to.
He's on the way. Okay. So I just wanted to know that if all of you are aware about the shlokas that you have to memorize and all, right? How many shlokas in Bhagavad Gita first unit you are aware?
14.
14. Okay, so that's right. Yeah. 12. Yeah, 12. So these are the verses that you have to memorize. Ishopanishad was only 2 verses. Now only 10 are added. Just 10. Not more. So best is that from tomorrow's session what we will do. In the beginning we will recite these 12 verses every day. We will begin like that. Together we will recite all these 10 verses every session. So that by the time our unit is over, at least some of them may have got memorized that way. As such, these are very popular verses. So you may be aware also many of the verses. But if you are not aware, then better start preparing right from the beginning, because it is good number 12. Then next unit is 14, and then last is 9. Also, you are aware for the closed book test, you are aware there are the closed book questions, right? So yeah. Bhagavad Gita. So you can see that you can also take a look at handbook. So you will get some good idea of chapter sections and all. Like this is chapter 1. So you can see the sections have been mentioned here. Dharma Kshetre, that is 1.1. Duryodhana's diplomatic words are described in verse 3rd to 11th. Signs of victory 14 to 20. Krishna's Bhaktavatsal nature from 21 to 27 verses of this chapter. Arjuna's reasons for not fighting, that's the rest of the chapter. So we can say that these sections have been given, and for your closed book exam you should prepare from this particular handbook, especially which questions? Short answer questions. These are the ones. So these are the ones which you will get in the exams. So you are aware of this, right? This 2 marks, it shows 2 marks. So based on the marks you have to make sure that you answer it in detail or whatever is asked. So please start preparing these questions also, because after your unit is over, then you will have to appear for the exam on the basis of these questions. So you can see first 6 chapters, here it ends. There are open book assessment questions, so you are aware of this also. On every unit, how many open book questions? 2. Yeah. So these are the 2 questions here. So then that's next unit comes. So keep taking a look at handbook also, because you have to make sure that you are also fulfilling the assessment aspect this way. So we have just begun. So in the beginning only I just wanted to clarify that. Start taking a look at handbook also. Okay. So Prabhupada dedicates Bhagavad Gita as it is to Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, who presented so nicely the Govinda Bhashya commentary on Vedanta philosophy. You have heard about Baladev Vidyabhushan. He was a very great acharya in our line, and who wrote a commentary on Vedanta called as Govinda Bhashya. So why is Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita dedicated to him? Why is that? He could have dedicated it to Vishwanath Chakravarti also, to Jiva Goswami also, to Rupa Goswami also. Why does he dedicate his Bhagavad Gita to Baladev Vidyabhushan? Anybody? Why Baladev Vidyabhushan? So the reason is that Prabhupada's explanation of Bhagavad Gita, that is Prabhupada's Bhaktivedanta purports, they are based on Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary. So that's why Prabhupada dedicates Bhagavad Gita to Baladev Vidyabhushan. His explanations are on the basis of which commentary? Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary. Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan has written a commentary called as Gita Bhushana. Govinda Bhashya is on Vedanta Sutra. But Baladev Vidyabhushan wrote a commentary called as Gita Bhushana. That is what is on Bhagavad Gita. And if you see that commentary, Prabhupada very much follows that commentary. Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary you have or you don't have? I can share this document. See, this is Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary. Baladev Vidyabhushan. So Prabhupada's purports very much follow Baladev Vidyabhushan. So that's why Prabhupada dedicates also to him. Naturally, Baladev wrote a lot of books. So he wrote also Govinda Bhashya. And Bhagavad Gita is considered explanation of Vedanta only. Vedanta philosophy. So Prabhupada dedicates Bhagavad Gita to Baladev Vidyabhushan. Then this preface is given by Prabhupada himself. So, can I ask someone to read this one para? I was saying that if we can have the cordless mic, no? So then you can easily read if it is possible. But otherwise somebody with a loud voice can read.
Originally, I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is, in the form in which it is presented now.
Who is speaking this? Prabhupada is speaking. Okay. This is Prabhupada. Preface is written by Prabhupada himself.
When this book was first published, the original manuscript was unfortunately cut short to less than 400 pages, without illustrations and without explanations for most of the original words of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In all of my other books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Isopanishad, etc., the system is that I give the original verse, its English translation, transliteration, word for word Sanskrit English equivalents, translations and purports. This makes the book very authentic and scholarly and makes the meaning self-evident. I was not very happy, therefore, when I had to minimize my original manuscript. But later on, when the demand for Bhagavad Gita as it is considerably increased, I was requested by many scholars and devotees to present the book in its original form. Thus, the present attempt is to offer the original manuscript of this great book of knowledge with full parampara explanation in order to establish the Krishna consciousness movement more soundly and progressively.
Powerful, huh? Prabhuji's voice is powerful. Very nice reading. Thank you. Yeah. So Prabhupada is telling, how he came to write Bhagavad Gita as it is. See, when Prabhupada went from India to USA, he was carrying with him one book. Which was that book? Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 1. In how many volumes? 3 volumes Prabhupada was carrying. So Prabhupada had not written Bhagavad Gita at that time. Prabhupada long back had written Bhagavad Gita, but somehow that manuscript was taken away. But when Prabhupada was going to US, there was no Bhagavad Gita. What was the book? Bhagavatam was the book. But when Prabhupada went there and then he saw that the hippies and everyone, like basically those who are becoming Krishna conscious, they need more fundamental book. They cannot be just directly taught Bhagavatam. They needed more fundamental understanding of Bhakti. So Prabhupada then he wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is, the purport. He translated Bhagavad Gita as it is. And it was almost 1000 pages work. So the devotees were trying to get some publisher. It's an interesting story how Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita was published. So devotees were trying to get publishers and all that. And there was this very famous publishing company in US called Macmillan Publishing House. So Macmillan Publishing Company was very famous. So then one day devotees got a call from Macmillan Publishing House. And they felt like, wow, we were waiting for this. that probably this Macmillan publishing house knows that Prabhupada has written Bhagavad Gita and they are going to publish. So when Brahmanand Prabhu and Hayagriva Prabhu went there, they realized that one employee in that Macmillan publishing house, he wanted some recording of Prabhupada's Hare Krishna dhun. He didn't have anything to do with Bhagavad Gita. What did he want? Prabhupada's dhun, that very famous, right? Radha Krishna temple album. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this employee wanted that. And they went with box of Bhagavad Gita. I mean, the manuscript aspect, that one. They thought that, he is asking for that. So Brahmanand Prabhu went there and he was like very disappointed. He thought they have called us for Bhagavad Gita. So he was praying to Lord Krishna, saying that, my Lord, do something. Somehow this Bhagavad Gita should be published. It is Prabhupada has so nice, just typed manuscript was there. So the chief executive of Macmillan Publishing House, where these people were sitting, Hayagriva Prabhu, Brahmanand Prabhu. So this chief person came, director or executive, he came and he said, because he saw Brahmanand Prabhu and all, he thought they must be connected to some Indian Swami. So he said, has your Indian Swami translated Bhagavad Gita or something like that? He said, if you have, then we want to publish a book, Bhagavad Gita, he said. And Brahmanand Prabhu was like shocked. This was what they were praying. And suddenly this person comes to him and says, has your spiritual master written something on Bhagavad Gita? This year we want to publish Bhagavad Gita from Macmillan. And they were like so jubilant. And then they just showed the manuscript and they said, oh, this is a good one. Yeah, we can publish this. And then they went back and told Prabhupada. Prabhupada was also very happy. But then Macmillan, it published, but it said we can't publish such a voluminous book. And that too, Swamiji is a new author, as per them. He is a new author in the market. So they said we have to cut down this Bhagavad Gita. So that's what Prabhupada is writing here. So they cut down the 1000 pages worth manuscript to 350 pages. That was the abridged edition of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And then that was published by Macmillan. And when it was published, it just became rampant like wildfire. Everywhere that Bhagavad Gita became so popular. Even the shortened version, like that. So shortened version became so popular, it became one of the best sellers from Macmillan. So then Macmillan said that, Swamiji, we want to publish now, we want to produce the second edition because the book is very much in demand. So Prabhupada said second edition means you have to publish full 1000 pages. You can't publish this shortened version that way. So then Macmillan saw that there is a huge demand for this Bhagavad Gita. So then they published the full 1000 pages edition. And that was when Prabhupada's, this current edition that we read, that was first time published in the Western world in full, that way. So in Veda-based folio, you can find that Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, even the smaller editions are also there, like they have kept it. Early editions of Bhagavad Gita. So this is Bhagavad Gita as it is, 1968, abridged edition. This is the one that is 350 pages. And then this one, the below that is unabridged edition in 1972, like that. So we see that they made some editions and then finally they brought out the full edition, which is unabridged edition. That's the one which we read now. And it became actually such a famous copy of Bhagavad Gita. Everywhere it just became like so popular, Bhagavad Gita as it is. But then because Prabhupada had written it also in a very strong manner, so that's when this Macmillan Publishing Company, I was saying yesterday, right, it was approached by one one scholar from India who had written Bhagavad Gita and his own commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So he was very upset with Prabhupada's usage of Bhagavad Gita as it is. He said, why as it is? You can just write Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavad Gita as it is? And then Prabhupada famously remarked that it is as it is, not as you want it to be. That's why it is as it is. And then when Prabhupada was told that this scholar is very upset by Macmillan, Prabhupada said, yeah, my mission is successful. Prabhupada said, because yes, those who are writing their own commentaries, now they will be offended by my work, because Prabhupada presented Krishna's point of view as it is. So you see, that's how Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita became. It's the most widely read edition in the whole world. You may be aware. It's the most widely read edition. It is translated in maximum languages. No other Bhagavad Gita commentary has been translated in 89 languages. So it is an extraordinary edition of Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Prabhupada in preface he is basically giving that background. He says, our Krishna consciousness movement is genuine, historically authorized, natural and transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Krishna consciousness movement is genuine. It is historically authorized. It's not some cult or something, just some new thing. We all belong to which sampradaya? Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So it is historically authorized. It is natural. It is bhakti process and it's transcendental. It is not mundane. It is not giving some mundane goal. It is giving the transcendental goal. It is becoming more and more interesting to the older generation also. Younger generation, older generation. Older gentlemen are also becoming interested, so much so that the fathers and grandfathers of disciples are encouraging us by becoming life members. Especially wherever the ISKCON devotee association is there, we see that a lot of youngsters will be there, right? Many people in India, they say that, how are you attracting youngsters so much? And that was Prabhupada's uniqueness also, right? These hippies, they had this slogan that don't believe anyone who is beyond 30 years of age. Hippies would say 30 साल के आगे वाले का सुनने का नहीं कुछ, क्योंकि वो अपना ज्ञान देता रहेगा. He will keep giving ज्ञान. But then Prabhupada was 70 years old and they all became his followers. So Prabhupada was like such a transcendental personality. So when Prabhupada was having so many youthful followers, then everybody was like amazed in American media that how is Swamiji getting so many younger followers when these hippies don't listen to anybody who is beyond 30. So they were impressed by Prabhupada very much. So Prabhupada said, see, it's simple. What do these people want to do? They said, yeah, they want to eat nicely and they want to dance and they want to enjoy life. So Prabhupada said, that is our philosophy. Prabhupada said, eat Krishna Prasad, chant Hare Krishna and dance like madmen. So that's what they like to do. But previously when hippies were doing these things, the police would catch them. Now, when Prabhupada was doing it, like in front of Rath Yatra, they were dancing, the police, New York police was escorting them. So the hippies were also ecstatic that previously these flower children, when they danced, police would catch them. Now the police were escorting. Okay, yes, go ahead, like that. So they developed a lot of faith in Prabhupada that here is a man who is actually giving us so much respect of even people this way. So Prabhupada's uniqueness, you see, that has percolated even through tradition. Even now, ISKCON temples will be filled with youngsters, younger people, all sorts of people, but youngsters will be there, so much educated people, very intelligent people. So I as part of service, many times I connect to a lot of traditional scholars, and sometimes I have to speak to some Mayavadis also, Mayavadi acharyas or like that, discuss something with them and all. So they will discuss philosophy, but more than that they will discuss, ये तुम्हारे ISKCON में इतने युवा लोग कैसे आते हैं? That's their question. How do you get so many youth in ISKCON? They are like amazed by that, because in other places you can't draw so much youth interested in, especially for a longer duration of time as lifelong follower. So that's because Prabhupada gave a life which is dynamic in Krishna consciousness, right? It's a very dynamic life. One of my distant uncles, when I became a Hare Krishna devotee, monk especially, when I joined ashram, so he was very upset with me that why I became a brahmachari, because he is a non-devotee. Now he has become very favorable, but those days. So he became very upset, why you became a Hare Krishna devotee. So I said, yeah, what's your problem? What is the problem? So he said, no, we should be dynamic in life. We should do something. Kuch karna hai. He was like that, very much. So I said, what do you think we are doing in temple? We are sleeping or what, whole day? That's what he said. You know, what these monks will do, I mean, what they have got to do in temples and all, you don't have much to do, no? So I said, no, sometime you come to our temple and you stay with me in ashram for 2 days. So he would say, no, I know what you will do, like, you know, whole day, I'm sure there must not be much engagement, it's boring life, and that way. So anyway, somehow I convinced him. After 4 or 5 years, he came to ashram. And I said, 2 days now you have to follow full program of brahmacharya ashram. You say that there is nothing much to do here. So 2 days I said, you have to follow full program. So then I woke him up the next day at 3:30 in the morning. और वो ऐसा आँख ऐसा एकदम कितना बजा है 3:30. He had never woken up in his life at 3:30. You know. So he woke up at 3:30 and I said, take bath. You know. So he took bath and he said, come to Mangal Arati. 4:30 he came to Mangal Arati. So he liked Mangal Arati and all, very nice. But after Mangal Arati, you know, he started, because he never woke up that early. So when we sat for japa, then he started like this, sleeping. So I said, no, you cannot sleep. You have to chant 16 rounds today. That's our schedule. You want to know what we do all day? So then I made him follow 16 round schedule also. He was telling me in between, Abhi jaun kya thoda break? No, I said, no break today. You have to now accept this. So he attended entire japa session. Then he attended Shangar Darshan, Guru Puja. So by the time of Bhagavatam, he really became desperate. He said कि यार मुझे छोड़ दो, अभी मैं थोड़ा गेस्ट हाउस में जाकर आराम कर लूँ. नहीं बोला आराम नहीं, no आराम. You know, today you have to follow our schedule. You know, so he attended Bhagavatam also. So after Bhagavatam there was prasad. He said, I don't want to take prasad, only let me sleep. He was feeling so tired. So then finally he went away directly to sleep only. He didn't come for prasadam also. Then in the noon, then there is brahmachari class. So I went and woke him up. Chalo, let's go and hear now, you know, Bhagavatam, which is known as brahmachari class. You know, that's in the noon. 2 hours you have to hear. You know, again, this is apart from Bhagavatam in the morning. Also, he attended. He is like trying to keep smiling face. And then in the evening from 6:30 onwards, we have service also. Preaching service, preaching stall and this like that. So that goes from 6:30 to 9:30. Again, 3 hours more. So then he came to that service also. So by the time it was 9:30, I said, how is your day? How are you finding? Do we have, do you accept that we have a lot of things to do? So he said, yes, I accept. Please leave me. He said, tomorrow you give me some cool schedule. Don't do like this. So he was later sharing with his relatives that he said, अरे ये लोग तो अपने से ज़्यादा काम करते हैं भाई. He was saying, these people are busier than us. So this whole idea that as Hare Krishna monks, we don't have much to do, right? That's such a, we see that such a misconception, right? There is a lot of service So Prabhupada, that is because Prabhupada gave that life. Prabhupada gave such a schedule, no, where we can be engaged 24 hours also. Otherwise, there are many mathas where we see there is not much engagement. You go there, you find that they are just sitting and chit-chatting, and that's it. Not much engagement. There are many mathas like that. That's why Prabhupada even didn't gave our society name as matha. He called it Krishna consciousness movement. Movement means it should move. Movement. Continuously it moves like that. So movement, Prabhupada said, what is a movement without movement? It cannot be stagnant. It has to move, continue this way. So that's why Prabhupada is saying here that it is natural, it is transcendental, and it is attracting so much of younger generation, right? Even here we see so many of the devotees, all these wonderful young kids. So they make good notes, and they are showing me at the end of the class, Prabhuji, see the notes, are they right? Is there any mistake in that? So wonderful to see actually. Some places I go, the kids are taken into one room, and then somebody has to keep them engaged by having some games and all that, gaming zone or something like that, you can. But here it's so wonderful to see each one of them hearing, and that to long hours, sometimes 2.5 hours like that. So wonderful. So Prabhupada says in this presentation of Gita, if I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to my eternal spiritual master, His divine grace, Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajagacharya, Ashtottar Shatshi Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is also giving the credit to his spiritual master. Whenever Prabhupada was glorified, he gave credit to two personalities. One was his spiritual master, another was to his disciples. Yes. Whenever something wonderful was accomplished, no, Prabhupada would either say, it's actually my Guru's mercy, or he would say, actually the credit goes to my disciples. He was like that. Always he gave the credit to others. And it is good actually. See, the credit is considered to be like a hot potato. So we shouldn't hold it in our hand. Best is to transfer it. If you hold it in your hand, what will happen? It will burn. So better just shift it. And then that person also should shift it. So we shift it to the tradition, we shift it to parampara. If we try to hold on to the credit, then we will not be able to, you see that it will eventually frustrate us. But if we give credit to others, immediately our heart will become very light. It will genuinely become happy. That's the nature of actually bhakti. When you give credit to others, your heart becomes satisfied. And if when you take yourself credit, then the heart hankers for more credit. Like in a room, if 10 people came and said to you, oh, very nice Prabhuji, very nice. But if the 11th person didn't come, the mind will think, whoa, that 11th fellow, why he didn't come? These 10 people have understood my glory. Why that 11th person has not come? And mind is thinking about that only. अरे 10 लोग आ गए ना, बस भाई कितना चाहिए और how much more you need? But that's how the mind is. The credit aspect is like that. So we want to genuinely experience happiness in life, no? Then it is selflessness. If you become selfless, you see that you enjoy, you really feel very satisfied. And to the degree we become selfish, to that degree we will even be more and more, trying to become more and more self-oriented. That way. That's how it happens actually. This way. So Prabhupada always gives credit to his disciples. He gives credit to his spiritual master. If personally I have any credit in this matter, Prabhupada says, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is without any adulteration. That's my credit. I have not tried to add something on my own. Just present it as it is, as he learnt it from his spiritual master. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, almost all the English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. Like Prabhupada, initial days when his Bhagavad Gita was not yet published, so Prabhupada was using one famous politician of India. He had written a commentary on India's second president. Yeah, he had written the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and Prabhupada was using that commentary. And then Prabhupada used to read the verse, read the translation, but skip the commentary. He would not read that, and he would explain the authentic the understanding of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. He would give that, and in that particular commentary that Prabhupada was referring, the politician who had written that commentary. So Prabhupada said it is like he is trying to put hand on Krishna and trying to quiet Krishna and saying, Krishna, you don't speak, I have to speak now. On your verses, I will give my commentary. So Prabhupada used to say like this, that don't try to shut mouth of Krishna. You shut your mouth and let Krishna speak. He would say. Somebody trying to give their own interpretation of Bhagavad Gita, so Prabhupada would say it is like trying to shut mouth of Krishna. So we have to allow the straight flow of Bhagavad Gita to speak. When Krishna says manmana bhava mad bhakto, so that naturally means always think of me, become my devotee, right? If you give some interpretation like when Krishna says manmana bhava mad bhakto, means we don't have to surrender to Krishna, we have to surrender that which is within Krishna, that light within Krishna, like that the commentary has written. So Prabhupada said, what nonsense is this? Krishna is saying directly, bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee. And Prabhupada would say, Krishna's inside and outside, it is not different, it's all the same. Our inside outside is different. Like outside is gross body, inside is soul, subtle body and then soul. But that's not how Krishna's entire form is Satchidananda Vigraha. It is no inside outside. So what is this commentator saying that you have to surrender to something within Krishna? That doesn't make sense this way. So that's why Prabhupada is saying previously people were, they had introduced commentary to only fulfill someone's personal ambition. Prabhupada is saying that aspect, that way. Generally the so-called scholars, politicians, philosophers and swamis without perfect knowledge of Krishna try to banish or kill Krishna when writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita. How do they want to kill Krishna? They want to kill Krishna by saying that Krishna's personality or Krishna's qualities, they are basically Maya. They say, we will learn about this in detail as the verses will come ahead. But Prabhupada is basically speaking about Mayavad Bhashya. You can see here he is speaking. Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile Haya Sarvanash. So that's why Prabhupada is very, very keen on this Mayavadi philosophy, which say that Krishna is illusion, Krishna is not the highest truth. So Prabhupada was very much against these ideas, and that's why Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita is also very sensational in that sense, because he attacked on all unscrupulous commentaries like anything. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is the greatest offense. So many scholars and outside people, they are doing all these things. When I was studying in engineering, I went, there was one book fair, and then I brought 5 different Bhagavad Gitas that time. I was just curious. One was Bhagavad Gita for engineers. Another was Bhagavad Gita for housewives. You can see. So everybody is basically taking Bhagavad Gita and writing what they want to write. So Prabhupada would say that, see, if you want to write your own opinion, at least have some dignity and write the book as per your own name and own title. Why you are taking Krishna's book's title? Because, saying that Gita for housewives or Gita for engineers, and where he is writing all his stuff. So it is like taking and exploiting Krishna's book, no? Gita is very popular, so people will take Gita, and then inside all is your stuff only. So Prabhupada would say, "Arey thoda to sharam karo. If you want to sell a book, write your own book and give your own title. Don't use Krishna's title. Gita is Krishna's, Bhagavad Gita." So Prabhupada would say, don't do that. But we see that so many people, my Gita, your Gita, our Gita, like that. They have written books like that, so many. And then they have nothing to do with Krishna's message. So Prabhupada, that's a great offense actually, without any reference to will of Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita has to be understood as it is. You don't have to interpret so much. You can straightforward meaning, you can see it's very clear. When Krishna says, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya, there is nothing superior to me. So that means what? When basically this was about to get published this way. So that's preface of Bhagavad Gita, where Prabhupada has in this way explained the context of Bhagavad Gita when he wrote and all that. So then there is this long introduction that is there of Bhagavad Gita. So we will go through this also. But before that, do you wish to ask anything or check about anything on what we discussed? Any questions on what we discussed? Anyone there? No questions? Okay, then we go to introduction now. So this is a very long introduction. As I said, this introduction is also published as a separate book. You are aware of this, right? It's also published as separate book. So you can see. So this is introduction to Bhagavad Gita. And practically in introduction, Prabhupada has given an entire philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. In introduction itself. That somebody reads introduction and closes the book, he also gets all the conclusion. He has given a very elaborate introduction actually. So this is the standard document which tells you about the various sections of introduction of Bhagavad Gita. So let's go through this. It discusses basically these themes. There is spirit of Gita, there is purpose of Gita, then there is Sambandha Jnana that is spoken, nature of Vedic knowledge and how Bhagavad Gita is its most perfect presentation, that aspect is spoken. Prayojana is spoken, goal, Abhideya, the method, and finally Gita Mahatmya. So these many sections are there in introduction. So we will go through this introduction also before we begin the chapter. So you can see first Prabhupada speaks about spirit of Gita. In what spirit we should approach Bhagavad Gita. So you can see here, just a minute. Yes. So this is introduction. So in the beginning, Prabhupada begins with the prayers, our standard set of prayers. So you can see here. And then Prabhupada begins here his introduction now. So please read this highlighted portion. Anyone? Yes.
Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. It is the essence of Vedic knowledge and one of the most important Upanishads in the Vedic literature. Of course, there are many commentaries in English on the Bhagavad Gita, and one may question the necessity of another one.
Yeah, all right. So Bhagavad Gita is known as Gita Upanishad. We talked about this also. So Upanishads do they fall in Shruti, Smriti or Nyaya? You can tell someone.
Shruti.
Shruti. Bhagavad Gita is Shruti or Smriti? Both. So yesterday, we had discussion now. So it was allowed both. Right? But Bhagavad Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. So if it is being called as Upanishad, meaning Shruti aspect is being spoken here or Smriti aspect? Shruti aspect is being spoken. Gita's nature is like Shruti because it is spoken directly by the Lord, and it also discusses 3 subject matters that are discussed in Upanishads. What are those 3 subject matters? Anyone remembers? Upanishads discuss 3 subject matters, very popular. So Gita also discusses that, so Gita is known as Gita Upanishad. What are those 3 subject matters? Karma, Jnana, Upasana, no. Yes, Mataji? Well, that every scripture discusses. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. It may be direct or indirect. Yes? Ishwar, Jiv and third? Third I am not able to hear. Prakriti, Haribol, wonderful. Ishwar, Jiv and Prakriti. This is the topic of Upanishads. And because Gita discusses that, so that's why Gita is also known as Gita Upanishad. And of course, Gita is spoken by the Lord also, so that is special also. This way. So, Prabhupada, right in the beginning, he says there are so many commentaries in English, why there is another necessity? Recently, an American lady asked me to recommend an English translation of Bhagavad Gita. But Prabhupada is saying, in America there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita, but I have seen that none of them can be strictly said to be authoritative. Because in almost every one of them, the commentator has expressed his own opinions. It is not Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is Bhagavad Gita as I want it to be. So that's why Prabhupada said, I could not recommend any Bhagavad Gita translation to this American lady. Because, most of them are like their own opinions. So you see, the spirit of Bhagavad Gita has to be understood. So very nice, Prabhupada gives example here. The spirit of Bhagavad Gita is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita itself. If we want to take a particular medicine, then we have to follow the directions written on the label. See, when we take a prescription, how do we take prescription? As per our own desire or as per the doctor's desire? If doctor says, okay, this medicine you should take 3 times in a day. 3 times, 3. I don't like 3 number, I like 2. If you say like this to doctor, can I take twice? Because 3 number I don't like. 3 बड़ा inauspicious है. तो डॉक्टर बोलेगा तुम्हारी लाइफ inauspicious बनेगी फिर. Right? Your life will turn into inauspiciousness if you don't follow. So when medicine is to be taken, how is it to be taken? As per the direction of the physician, direction of the doctor. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita, it cannot be taken by one's own whimsical mind. How do I understand Bhagavad Gita? Well, one of the very popular speaker of India, he was asked, Swamiji, how should we understand Bhagavad Gita? He said, stop asking this question, how I can understand Bhagavad Gita. He said, as many men, those many ways of understanding Bhagavad Gita. So you understand Bhagavad Gita as you want it to be, he said. And then everybody was clapping. What an answer, Now what he's speaking is bogus philosophy, right? He is saying Bhagavad Gita, whichever way you want to understand, don't come and ask me. And that people are seeing as a great wisdom, Prabhupada would say, probably he doesn't know. That's why he is saying, you only decide, don't ask me. That way. So it's not right. when you go to a physician, so like Krishna is like a physician here. He is giving Bhagavad Gita, the medicine of Bhagavad Gita. It has to be taken in the way that he wants us to take. And how does Krishna want us to take that? What's the spirit? So that spirit is mentioned over here further. So he tells Arjuna that he is relating this supreme secret to him because Arjuna is his devotee and his friend. Saevayam maya tedya yogah proktah puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hi etaduttamam. Who can understand this rahasya, this great secret? Krishna says two qualities in that person. What are the two qualities? One is he should be a bhakta, and second is the sakha, that friendliness towards Krishna. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti. So you can see that's the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has to be understood in the spirit of devotion. You cannot understand it without devotion. Krishna is himself telling, why Arjuna, why you are able to understand this knowledge? Why am I revealing this knowledge? Because you are a friend and you are a devotee. So means the necessary criterion to understand Bhagavad Gita is one should be a devotee. The purport of this is that Bhagavad Gita is a treatise which is especially meant for the devotee of the Lord. This way. So we see Bhagavad Gita is best understood by a person who has qualities similar to Arjuna's. So what is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita? Yes? Devotion. Devotion is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. Without devotion, it can never be understood. One time Prabhupada was invited in a Gita Sammelan. And Prabhupada went there, and Prabhupada was looking somewhere. Gita Sammelan means somewhere there should be Krishna's picture or Murti of Krishna. Something should be there, no? Nothing was there. Only one ghee lamp was there. Those tall lamps, you know. Very tall lamps are there. They were there. So Prabhupada said, this is Gita Sammelan. So this Gita, where is Krishna here? So no Krishna. What you are doing in Gita Sammelan? No painting of Krishna also. No deity of Krishna, nothing. And they were doing Gita Sammelan. So Prabhupada started, before Sammelan started, Prabhupada started chastising them. He said, call that organizer. Why Krishna's painting is not there? And that organizer says, Swamiji, cool down, I will bring. Yeah, you first bring. You first bring, Prabhupada said. He said, what is this nonsense? Gita Sammelan without even painting of Krishna. As if like, so because, why was not there? Because they were all this Brahman, that kind of understanding. Light. We have to surrender to light. Light within Krishna or like that. All such ideas. So Prabhupada was not happy. Then they ran and they brought Krishna's picture, and then Prabhupada was pacified. He said, now we can speak because Krishna is here. This way. So we see that sometimes they just don't have this spirit of devotion, right? They may speak on Gita, but then they don't understand that the message of Gita is actually. So Prabhupada is.
Rishis.
Yeah, which rishis? Who?
Shastri.
Somehow I have difficulty hearing. Okay. Bhagwan Balram serves in all the rasas. One of them is also Shantaras. When he becomes Krishna's bed and Krishna's everything. Some classic example of Shantaras, who is that?
Vyas. Vyasdev or Vasishtha.
No.
Saptarishi.
Kumaras. Kumaras are in Shantaras. The Chatu Kumar, you know Chatush Kumaras, right?
Yes.
4 of them. They are just 5 years old. Chatush Kumaras. But then they are like so brilliant and so knowledgeable. When they speak, people like, these are 5 years old kids. Who are they? Imagine some 5-year-old child comes here, sits here and starts speaking, fantastic philosophy. How we will be stunned, no? What a knowledge. So like that the Kumaras are there. Kumaras are the examples of Shantaras. Who is the example of Dasyaras?
Hanumanji.
You have to tell, raise hand and tell.
Hanumanji.
Hanumanji, classic example of Dasyaras. In Krishna's Leela, who is example of Dasyaras?
Arjuna.
Oh, he is telling Balram. Now he got one example which will go everywhere. Balaram, right? So for every rasa you will say Balaram, right? Because Balaram is there in all the rasas. Balaram serves Krishna in Dasyaras also. So that's right. In Krishna Leela, these two are very great dasas.
Uddhava and Arjuna.
Arjuna is in Sakhyaras. And Uddhava is also in Sakhya, but which is more, it has that aspect of respect. There are two devotees, they are known as Raktak and Patrak. Raktaka and Patraka, these are their names. So they are like very first class servants of Krishna. Raktak, Patrak. So whenever Krishna, they see Krishna as their master and always serving Krishna. So that is Raktak and Patrak. Okay. Then one can serve Krishna as a friend also. Who is Krishna's famous friend? Arjuna. Sudama, very nice. The Joker, who is the Joker? Madhumangal, yes. Ujjwal. There is one Arjuna in Krishna Leela also, One Arjuna in Dwarka Leela and one in Krishna Leela also, in Vrindavan Leela also.
Shloka Krishna.
Yeah, so one of the reason why Krishna loves Arjuna, Jiva Goswami says, why he loves Arjuna in Dwaraka is because this Arjuna reminds him of that Arjuna in Krishna Leela. So when he sees this Arjuna, then he remembers that Arjuna also. And that Arjuna is also favorite of Krishna. This Arjuna is also favorite of Krishna. So this is one reason. So that is Sakhyaras. And then Vatsalyaras, very famous. Yashoda, Nanda, all these other gopis also. They are all the Vatsalyaras devotees. And who is the best devotee in conjugal rasa? Radharani. Radharani, Lalita, Vishakha, Chandravali, all these are devotees in Madhurya Rasa. So Prabhupada is telling that we have to have the spirit of devotion, and then that devotion should be cultivated in any of these 5 rasas, like that. So that's the spirit of the first point. You can see the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. Then Prabhupada speaks about purpose of Gita now. So the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, he speaks. And before that, he says how Arjuna accepted this Bhagavad Gita should be noted. His manner of acceptance is given in 10th chapter. This famous verse, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. So it is very nice. See, Prabhupada would say, you can check somebody's understanding of Bhagavad Gita by seeing, is he reaching to the same conclusion that was reached by Arjuna at the end of Bhagavad Gita? Who was the original student of Gita?
Sun God.
Arjuna, original student of Gita by when Krishna spoke.
Sun God.
Okay, Sun God. Here I am saying, here Arjuna. Arjuna is the student. Yeah, Sun God also, no problem. But here we are talking about Arjuna. So if somebody says that I have understood Bhagavad Gita nicely, meaning his understanding should match with whom? Arjuna. It should match with Arjuna, right? Because he is the original student. So if your understanding matches with Arjuna, then you can say it's a good understanding. But Arjuna का छोड़ के कुछ अपना ही चला रहे हो. If he has his own understanding, like if you studied E equal to mc square, theory of relativity, you know this equation, right? All of you, or take whichever you know. Newton's law of gravitation, F equal to g m1 m2 by r square, like that. So now you are taught this equation and you give the understanding which is not acceptable to Newton only. So what will they say? They will say, what is this? You have learned it in a way which is not acceptable to the original person only. So same way, Bhagavad Gita, it has to be understood in the same way, or one should reach to the conclusion which is given by Arjuna. And Arjuna gave the conclusion, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vipum. So Krishna, you are the Param Brahma, you are Param Dhama, you are the greatest Supreme Personality of Godhead, like that. That's the conclusion. And if somebody can say, no, because Arjuna is Krishna's friend, no, that's why he is flattering Krishna. That's why he is saying, Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord and all. Arjuna is just doing flattery, right? Like sometimes friends flatter each other, saying, oh, your handwriting is so nice. Although handwriting may be very bogus, but that's a friend. So, is Arjuna flattering Krishna? Because Krishna is his friend, is he flattering? How will you say that he is not flattering? Why do you say that he is not flattering? Krishna is not flattering Arjuna. Arjuna is not flattering.
He surrenders to Krishna.
He surrenders, so you can surrender to friend nicely. Right? Possible, no? So how do we say that whatever Arjuna is saying is not a flattery of Krishna?
He finally agrees.
Okay, he has interest
Finally
in.
agrees.
Hari Bol, Jai. All wonderful answers coming from that section. Very nice. All the Hindi devotees are, very nicely hearing and understanding. Yes, good. Very nice. So Arjuna says, see, only I am not saying. If I was friend of Krishna and that's why I am saying Krishna is Supreme Lord, then you could have said I am flattering. But who all are saying? Asito, Devalo, Vyas, Narad, you can see. Ahustvam Rishaya Sarve, Devarshir Naradas Tatha, Asito, Devalo, Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva, Bravishime. Who all are saying that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Narad Muni, Vyasdev, Asita Muni, Devala, so many, Parashar, Vashishta. So, are they also flattering Krishna? No. These are all great sages. So, that's why Arjuna's version is, you see, in this way. It is confirmed by all others also, this way. So, that's why Bhagavad Gita should be taken up in a spirit of devotion, we see. And now he speaks about purpose of Bhagavad Gita here. The purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to deliver mankind from the nations of material existence. Bhagavad Gita is not just to, give some mundane benefit. Like one person, very famous Yogacharya in Pune, he was asked, what is the highest verse in Bhagavad Gita? What is the conclusion of that verse? He is a very famous Yogacharya. So you know what he said? The highest shloka in Bhagavad Gita. If I ask you, what is the topmost shloka in Bhagavad Gita? Sarva dharman parityajya, right? Manmana bhava madbhakto, or basically charam shloka is Sarva dharman parityajya. Manmana bhava madbhakto is considered the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Sar, 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 like that Vishwanath Chakravarti says. Sar ke sar ka sar, that is Manmana bhava madbhakto. But the ultimate shloka, the charam shloka, this Ramanujacharya says is Sarva dharman parityajya. So when Yogacharya ji was asked which is the charam shloka of Bhagavad Gita, then he said, Yuktahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. Hari bol. So you can see, as per him, this was the ultimate shloka. So everybody takes Bhagavad Gita and has their own ideas, coming out of it. But we have to see in the proper tradition. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is not just to do yoga and have a fit body or like that. Yoga is good. That's fine. We are not criticizing yoga. But that yoga is there for performing bhakti, isn't it? So, the real purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to deliver mankind from nations of material existence. So, that's the point. One time Prabhupada was traveling in a train. He was traveling in a train to Madras. And then he was there in the train, and some sannyasis were also there. And 2-3 men, they were always trying to enter into Prabhupada's cabin in that. And then typically they would disturb Prabhupada like by and saying, Swamiji Ashirwad, Swamiji Ashirwad, Ashirwad Dijiye, like that. Prabhupada's sannyasi disciples were sitting in front of him, all with chakachak shaved heads, with danda, saffron shaved heads. So Prabhupada told to this man, if you get my Ashirwad, then you will become like this. He said, do you want my Ashirwad? So then you become like this. And then as soon as they saw this, they said, "Theek hai Swamiji, theek hai, theek hai." And then they slowly came out of the room saying, we don't want such Ashirwad. So Prabhupada said, see, you want Ashirwad, then this is my Ashirwad. But they wanted Ashirwad which was material, like Sukha Sampatti Ghar Aave, Dukh Mite Tan Ka, right? That prayer is very popular in North India, probably here also, I don't know. It is that way, right? So the point is, Bhagavad Gita or spirituality, it is primarily for the purpose of, going beyond the material world. Some other auspiciousness by Bhagavad Gita may come in our life or may not come also. It may or may not come. It depends. But main purpose of Bhagavad Gita is the spiritual auspiciousness. That will come this way. So that's what is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So this purpose should be remembered like that. Otherwise, people many times take spiritual life for some material purpose, which is not very proper way, this way. So the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is, to make this transcendental inquiry and strive for going beyond the material existence. Prabhupada says, actually we are all swallowed by the tigress of nations, but the Lord is very merciful upon living entities. To this end he spoke the Bhagavad Gita. So in order to deliver us from the tigress of nations. Nations means, you understand, ignorance, avidya. There is knowledge and there is nations. These are opposite terms. So that's the purpose of Gita. All right. This second aspect, purpose of Gita. So the spirit of Bhagavad Gita is what? Devotion. And the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is what? Deliver mankind from the nations. So these are the two things. Then next he speaks about sambandha, relationship, and for this he goes in great detail. So here comes that discussion of the subject of Bhagavad Gita has the 5 basic truths. There are 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita. Who wants to tell? Which are the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita? Yes, Prabhu.
Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma.
All right, very nice. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. So these 5 topics, now Prabhupada goes into great length to describe these 5 topics. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. So, who is Ishvara? Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Who is Jiva? What does Jiva mean? Yeah, the living entity. The living entity, that is Jiva. Especially, what Jiva means? The living entity or Atma which has got material body. That is called a Jiva, especially. One who has got the material body. Meaning one who is conditioned person, that is a Jiva. That way. What is the meaning of Prakriti? Material nature. Huh? What's the meaning of Kala? And what's the meaning of Karma? Activity. So you see, these 5 factors will be discussed in great detail. So we'll not go in too many details here, but some basic things you have to know. So that much we will talk about. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, what happened? It's not detecting. Yes. So, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti. You can read Devanagari or no? Achha. Kala and Karma. Okay. So now in this, which one are eternal? Nitya. It's called Nitya. Now you have to tell me, Ishvara, Nitya or not? Jiva, Nitya or not? Prakriti, Nitya or not? Anybody saying Anitya? Prakriti? Like this thing is Prakriti. So this is Nitya. It will be destroyed after some time. So Prakriti is Nitya or not then? Anitya? Okay, let's keep this. Kala, Nitya or Anitya? Kala is also Nitya? Okay. Karma? Karma बोलो. अनित्य. थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन है इधर प्रकृति के बारे में और कर्म के बारे में. So whether Prakriti is eternal or not? So Prakriti is eternal. The manifestation of Prakriti is not eternal. Manifestation that is not eternal. But Prakriti is actually, that Prakriti is material energy, that is eternal. That can never be destroyed. Right? Even relativity speaks like that. Energy can never be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to another. So this Prakriti is actually eternal. It can never be destroyed. Kala is also eternal. It can never be destroyed. Even when the entire material universe goes inside Mahavishnu, no? You know, that time also Kala is there inside Mahavishnu. Material energy is also there. Ishvara is there, Jiva is there. Only karma is one factor which can be destroyed. So karma is some factor which can end actually, it can be destroyed. So what happens when karma is destroyed? The person becomes free to go back home, back to Godhead. Till the time karma is there, the person is in material world. But when the karma is finished, then one becomes ready to go back home, back to Godhead. So that's why any living entity which is attaining Lord's abode, what is happening with his karma?
Nullified.
Nullified, finished. So then is karma nitya or not then? Karma, if it can be destroyed, will we call it nitya?
No.
We will not call it nitya. So that's why karma is considered to be not nitya, because karma can be destroyed. As long as one is in material world, karma will be there. But when by practice of bhakti or by practice of other transcendental processes, if one becomes free from karma, then you see that there is no further karma, finished. So that's why karma is not nitya. See, this Prakriti also is actually See, one more factor I want to show here. Talk about consciousness. Consciousness. Consciousness means what? You understand consciousness. Consciousness means chetana. Thinking, feeling, willing, all these factors. So, Ishvara, is he having consciousness?
Yes. Yes.
Ishvara is conscious?
Yes.
Jiva is conscious?
Yes.
How about Prakriti? Is she conscious?
No.
Prakriti is not conscious? Yes, she is. देखते हैं ये क्या है. Kala is conscious?
Yes.
अरे काल से ही सब हो रहा है. Kala is causing everything. So is he conscious? सही जवाब. Karma, is it conscious?
No.
Karma is not conscious. So, you come to Prakriti. Prakriti is conscious or not? So, when we talk about Prakriti, whether she is conscious or not, we have to know that actually we are here talking about Prakriti which is Jada. Prakriti which is Jada. Which means that we are not talking here about the personification of Prakriti. You know who is the personality who is personification of Prakriti?
Devi.
Devi. So we are not talking here about Devi. If I would have asked you question, Devi, does she have consciousness? Then you would have said yes. But when we say about Prakriti here, we don't say, we are not talking about that Prakriti. We are talking about this material energy which is owned by Devi. This material energy which is under her jurisdiction. So that is known as Adhisthana Prakriti. Adhishthan, इसको बोलते Adhishthan. Adhishthan Prakriti means this matter known as Prakriti, not the Adhishthatri. Adhishthatri means that personality. Devi is known as Adhishthatri Maya. And we are not talking about Adhishthatri Maya, we are talking about Adhishthan Maya, meaning all this matter that you see. So now you tell me, is that matter conscious or not?
No.
No, that's why Prakriti is not conscious. If I would have asked, Adhishthatri Maya is conscious or not? Then you would say, she is conscious. Adhishthan Maya is conscious? No, is not conscious. Kala is energy under Krishna. Although everything is under influence of Kala, but it is because it is under the jurisdiction of Supreme Lord. Kala itself does not have consciousness. Kala is Jada. It's not Chetana. You know these words? Chetana and Jada. Alright? So, how many factors are Nitya? Out of 5?
4.
4 factors are Nitya. And how many factors are Chetana? 2 factors are Chetana. You understand? So this is how it should be understood. So Prabhupada gets into some details of this, which we will be studying in Bhagavad Gita. So now we will go fast now. We will go ahead. So Prabhupada starts explaining, see, what is material nature. So material nature is known as inferior Prakriti. She is especially having these 3 gunas. You have seen that painting where it is shown that 3 personalities, they are pulling the strings of some men and people who are working in the field, and 3 personalities are pulling the strings. Who are those 3 personalities?
3 gunas.
3 gunas, they are 3 modes, and those modes are controlled by Prakriti. Like everything is in modes, you know. In material world, everything is in modes. Like you take anything. Time of the day is in modes. Matter is in modes. Animals are in modes. Men are in modes. Women are in modes. Like Any time is also in the mode. Like we begin the class, so then it is goodness. When the class begins, everybody is very enthusiastic. Hari Bol, today we will learn. So as some time passes, then it becomes mode of passion. When can I get up? I have to. Pata nahi, Prabhuji break bhi dete nahi. He doesn't give break also. At least somebody tell him he should give break, no? He doesn't give break also. Mind may be thinking like that, right? And after some time, when we see that, okay, this fellow is not going to give break, then it goes into ignorance. Like, right? Then we feel like we close the notebook and all that. That way. So anything in this world, initially it starts with goodness. Like even in chanting, right? When we sit for the chanting in morning, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Initially it's very nice chanting. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then slowly, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And then after some time, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is happening? It began with sattva, went to rajas, went into tamas. Everything in this world is like that. It goes into modes, goes through modes. So material energy has encompassed everyone. Our mind is in modes, our body is also in modes. Somebody's body is sattvic, somebody's body is very rajasic, somebody's body is tamasic. You can, like even if the place is the noisiest place, you can see that fellow can sleep. Like I had one, like we had one devotee in ashram. How much ever sound is there, he can sleep anywhere. Like that. Immediately he would go to sleep. And like sometimes somebody has a very light sleep, right? He cannot sleep. Tuk also sound, he is immediately disturbed. That this fellow would sleep even if there is, some like in India and all, Ganeshotsav and all, there is a lot of sounds, they go on in the night also. He is peacefully sleeping. No problem. Like that. So you see, modes are like so common. Everything is engulfed by the modes. So that's why we have to first start coming in sattva guna. And then slowly we need to go to transcendental goodness. So Prabhupada explains this Ishvara, Jeev, Prakriti, Kal, Karma in details this way. So that's basically the thrust of this introduction. He is going on with that this way. Then after this, this is explained, Prabhupada comes to then, just a minute. So after he is explaining the Sambandha Abhidheya Prayojan, we see that in that he also comes to, especially in the consciousness, he comes to how consciousness is pure consciousness and contaminated consciousness. He is explaining it in the context of Jiva. So we'll talk about this aspect. And then finally in this section he also speaks about Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So you have heard these terms also, right? You understand? Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. What is Brahman feature? Who wants to tell? Please raise hand. What is Brahman? Yes, Mataji, behind Brahman. Yes. Impersonal feature? Yes, that is Brahman.
External effulgence of the.
Yes, very nice. Then what is Paramatma? Paramatma feature? Lord as super soul. And finally, what is Bhagavan? Personal feature. So, do you remember any examples that we discussed in Ishopanishad to explain Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan?
The music concert.
Very nice. Music concert. You want to tell?
Yeah, see, somebody who doesn't know anything about music, he goes sits, is unable to release what it is.
But he is relishing one thing. He is relishing something. What is that? Only the sound.
Sound.
Yeah. So who is that person compared to?
Paramatma.
Brahman.
Brahman.
Yeah. The next one?
Somebody who knows a little about music, he goes there and he understands little aspects of the music.
Yeah.
So that is the Paramatma teacher.
Yes.
And somebody who is a real expert, who understands the music very well and focuses on the minutes of the music.
Yes.
So he understands the Bhagwan.
Very nice. What more example? Another example? Prabhupada's very popular example. Someone? Surya. What is Brahman there? Brahman compared to? Okay. Then? And then? Okay, very nice. That's right. One more example.
The train example.
Train example. Okay, this is another one. Yeah.
First the person looks at the light far away, then he's able to actually realize the sound of the train and the actual train that actually.
Absolutely. One more example, the last one. Very famous. Mountain example. Yes. Kshitish, what's the mountain example?
From far away,
The mountain looks like
like a small hill,
green lump.
green lump, and when they go near, they can like see like a clearer picture, varieties of like different things,
Yes.
and when they go fully close to it, at that time,
Complete picture.
complete
Yeah. So who are the distant ones?
Brahman.
Brahman. Yeah. Very nice. Huh? So that's the point that is spoken also in the Sambandha Jnana. All right. So then Prabhupada proceeds again. Further, he speaks about how this Vedic knowledge is actually not a question of research. In Vedic knowledge, you don't need research. I mean, you can do research, but you will come to the same conclusion. And two examples of Prabhupada are very famous to tell how Vedic knowledge does not need research. You have studied these examples in Ishopanishad. Vedic ज्ञान में research की ज़रूरत नहीं है. What are the two examples?
Cow dung.
Cow dung is one. What's the other?
Concept.
Conch shell. Very nice. So we are doing some revision of Ishopanishad also. Good. Cow dung and conch shell. You understand. Conch shell is bone of an animal, but still it's considered auspicious. Cow dung is also very, it's the stool of an animal. Somebody may say, well, the stool of cow is so pure, the stool of Brahmana would be so much pure. But then it would be disaster. Right? Not like that. So you can't apply that logic. Cow dung, although it is stool of an animal, still it's the pure most. So much pure that they will apply in Vrindavan, they will apply on Krishna's body also. As auspicious, protective. So that's how we see that. And there is no logic to be applied there. That's how it is. This way. Then Prabhupada goes ahead and he speaks about Prayojana aspect also. Prayojana is basically the eternal spiritual goal, the spiritual world that is described also. Beyond this temporary world, there is another world which is Sanatan, which is eternal. So you can see Prabhupada is explaining Sambandha Jnana, Prabhupada is explaining Prayojana, which is spiritual world. So basically in one introduction he has given everything. Even if somebody reads just introduction and goes away, उसको संबंध के बारे में पता चला, प्रयोजन पता चला, everything he has got. That's how he has written his extensive introduction. नहीं तो इतना बड़ा introduction है, right? Somebody may feel like, oh, what such a big introduction, right? Why? Because he has given everything in that. This way. Prabhupada says the English word religion is a little different from Sanatan Dharma. How is Sanatan Dharma different than religion? You know this? Religion is different and Dharma is different. What's the difference? Somebody may say, well, religion is in English, Dharma is in Sanskrit. But there is a great difference between religion and Dharma. What is the difference? Yes, Mataji?
Dharma is the nature.
Dharma is the nature.
And
Exactly. So can dharma be ever changed? Yes. Can religion be changed? Yeah, that's the difference. Perfect. You can change the faith, right? Somebody may be Christian and that person may become, he may accept Islam. Or somebody is in Islam, he may accept Judaism. Whatever, the faith can change. But we see that the dharma never changes. So Bhagavad Gita is talking about dharma, that nature of service that is there in the living entity. It's not just kind of aspect. So that's the aspect that Prabhupada is speaking over here. Sanatan Dharma. And then Prabhupada speaks further about the aspect of now in the end he speaks about abhidheya, the process of worshipping the Supreme Lord, the method to worship the Supreme Lord. Abhidheya, that's the last part that he speaks. So how to practice bhakti, that is spoken in the end. Why? Because it's the call for action. After you understand sambandha, prayojan, how to act. So that's why he is speaking about this nirmana moha, how we can achieve the spiritual world. So especially in this, he speaks about how one should remember the Lord at the time of death. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. Whatever bhakti we do, it will be tested at the time of death. Isn't it? Just like somebody prepares for exam, he does all the study. So when you have to give the JEE that time, then it will be tested how well you have studied. So similarly, death is considered to be the JEE, not mains, advanced in that, the final exam in that. So in Bangla also they say bhajan karo, sadhan karo, mrityute janle. Whatever bhajan sadhan you do, at the time of death it will be clear how much you have done. So that's why Krishna is saying this also. And Prabhupada is saying that that's the way to remember the Lord at the end. But the point is, only one who has practiced throughout the life, he will be able to remember the Lord at the time of death. Throughout the life, if you have cultivated something, then you can remember at the last point. Otherwise, it would have been very simple, no? Why to sacrifice life throughout the life? Only just keep some people on rent who will remind you at the last point of the death that remember Krishna. But is it possible? Nahi hoga aisa. Even if you keep people to remind you, mera last time aayega na, just tell me that, I have to remember Krishna. Even if you give that fellow a lot of money throughout your life to remind you at the time of death, even if he reminds, you will be reminded of something else only if you have not cultivated it throughout the life. There are people whom, I have personally seen, one of the distant relatives, we were trying to tell him, chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. So he used to do like this, theek hai. Arey wo apne property ka kya hua? What happened to that property? You make sure that property is not taken by some people. And then like that, he was just remembering so many things. It's like that. So if you have not cultivated remembrance throughout the life, no, it's not possible. Even if you somebody is reminding. Bhakti, that's why it should be practiced throughout the life. Of course, still somebody may get some mercy because the devotees are trying to remind, give prasadam at the last moment of life. But remember this principle, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam it is. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatyante kalevaram. So that's why Krishna says that one should, throughout our life, one should cultivate that remembrance. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Throughout our life, if we practice that, then at the end of the life, we will also be able to remember Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. So this aspect Prabhupada is highlighting here. Then see yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, he is also quoting it here. And finally, he is ending with this aspect of the whole bhakti process is actually shravanam kirtanam. So please repeat this. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishno Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. So this is basically sum and substance. As soon as somebody asks you, what is Abhideya of Bhakti? What is the process or Abhideya? How should you answer? This is the answer. Immediately we should say Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. This is the answer, Abhideya. This is the Bhakti process. So Bhagavad Gita can be understood by somebody who is accepting this process. So Prabhupada began with the spirit of devotion, he is ending with the spirit of devotion. So after this he gives the famous Gita Dhyanam, and we will just end with those Gita Dhyanam verses or Gita Mahatmya verses, which is written by Shankaracharya, and it's a great glorification of Bhagavad Gita, 7 verses by Shankaracharya. So please recite together. Gita Shastram idam punyam yah pathet prayatah puman Vishno padam avapnopi bhaya shokadi varjitah. Anyone who reads this Gita Shastra, pathet, he reads this auspicious Gita Shastra, such a person, he will attain the abode of Lord Vishnu, being freed from all the fear and lamentation. Gita Dhyayan Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Santi Hi Papani Purva Janma Kritani Cha. Yes, please read someone.
If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him.
Yes. Mala nirmochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine sakrita gita amrita snanam samsara malanashanam. Yes, please read.
One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished.
So nice, no? Jalasnanam dine dine. Every day we take jalasnanam, sometimes thrice in the day. A Brahmana should bathe 3 times in a day. So by that mala nirmochanam will happen. Only the bodily dirt will be cleansed. But Sakrit Gita Amrita Snanam, even if you once bathe in the waters of Gita, you get this knowledge, then what will happen? Samsara Malanashanam. The dirt of material life, meaning the dirt which is in the mind, which is in the heart, that will be vanquished. Shankaracharya is saying. This is a famous verse now. Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimanye Shastra Vistarai Ya Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmat Vinisrita. So this verse is saying the Gita should be sung very nicely. Gita Sugita Kartavya. So when you sing the Gita's verses, like from tomorrow we will do like that. In the beginning we will recite the verse. So it is said one should recite them very nicely. Sugita Kartavya. Kimanye Shastra Vistare. What is the need of any other scripture then? Why do you not need any other scripture? Because this Bhagavad Gita has come out from the lotus mouth of direct Padmanabh, direct Sri Krishna. So what need is there of any other scripture? Further, Bharatamrita Sarvasvam Vishnu Vaktrad Vinisritam Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanmana Vidyate. Please read this.
One who drinks the water of the Ganges attains salvation. So what to speak of one who drinks the nectar of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the essential nectar of the Mahabharata, and it is spoken by Lord Krishna himself, the original Vishnu.
Yeah, so Gita Gangodakam Pitva. There is normal Gangodaka and there is Gita Gangodaka, meaning the water of Ganges called as Gita. So if you drink this water, then Punarjanmana Vidyate. Then there is No more coming back to the world like that. Prabhupada was in Jhansi once in the League of Devotees days, and Prabhupada was distributing, Prabhupada was explaining about this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. You know about that book? Easy Journey to Other Planets. So Prabhupada was explaining to this resident of Jhansi that if you read Bhagavad Gita, then you will not come back to this world. He said you can practice Bhagavad Gita, you can learn this Bhakti, practice Bhagavad Gita, and then you can actually, in fact, he was talking about easy journey to other planets. So he was talking about how there are these other planetary systems and all that, and then how Krishna Loka is the highest planetary system. So this Jhansi's person said that, Swamiji, it is good, I can go to those higher planets, but finally I can come back to Jhansi, no? He said, Swamiji, वापस आ सकते हैं ना Jhansi? So Prabhupada said, Arey, that was my whole point, that you don't have to come back to Jhansi. He said. So people sometimes they ask like that, right? As soon as you talk about reincarnation, they say, oh, reincarnation. So can we come back to our own place? Can we reincarnate? No, the whole point of reincarnation is don't reincarnate. Right? Go back home, back to God. So punarjanmana vidyate. Fine. Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopala nandana partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdham gita britam mahat. Yes, read.
This Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, is the essence of all the Upanishads. It's just like a cow, and Lord Krishna, who is famous as a cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf, and learned scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. So Arjuna is like the calf, Krishna is like that famous Gopal, and we are all these bhoktas. We are all the, we can drink the wonderful milk of Gitamritam, Sudhir Bhokta. Learned scholars and pure devotees, they are to drink. And then this famous verse, last one. Everybody is asking for one scripture, one religion, one scripture, one Shastra, one Lord, monotheism, right? One Lord. So here is the Shankaracharya's declaration. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani Karma Pi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. So you are asking for one Shastra? Yes, there is this one Shastra, Devaki Putra Gitam. What is that? What is the Gita of Devaki Putra? Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Let there be one Lord. Who is that one Lord? Shri Krishna, Devaki Putra. Eko Mantrasya Tasya Namani Yani. Let there be only one, the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And Karma Pi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. And let there be only one activity. What is that? Service to the Lord. So that's it. That's basically the thing. So in this way, Prabhupada has given a thorough introduction. We saw spirit of Gita, the purpose of Gita, the Sambandha, then the nature of Vedic knowledge, Prayojana, Abhidheya, and finally Gita Mahatmya. It's one of the classic introductions. Finally, Prabhupada gives the disciplic succession also, the succession that we belong to. It is directly coming from Krishna, then Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyas, Madhva. This is a prominent link. All the way up to, you can see, this is the great parampara coming up to Madhavendra Puri. He is considered to be the root of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Madhavendra Puri. And then Lord Chaitanya, who is actually non-different than Krishna. And this line is explaining only the few acharyas. There are so many more acharyas, but the prominent ones have been described here. So coming all the way up to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and then His Divine Grace, Abhay Charna Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So directly coming from in that line of Krishna to, all these acharyas. So this is the bona fide acharya line, disciplic succession. So that's the introduction. So from tomorrow we begin this wonderful chapter, first chapter, Sainya Nirikshana Yoga, or also known as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions you have? Anything you want to ask on today's session? Any comments, Prabhuji? Braj Prakash Prabhu?